distinguished group this
¿Pero
is.
qué es esto? Pero estamos, uy, qué elegante estamos.
No, I even, my,
Qué
one of my
elegantones
brackets,
estamos, pero qué es esto. Hi, Trish. How are you? Ali. Alicia. The last one.
Trish Brennan, how are you?
Oh.
I'm great. How are you?
Good. It's been a long time.
I know. You don't look different. I just got older.
Oh no, I increased the white dye on my hair. So it's funny, I was looking at a picture the other day of like a couple years back, and I was like, Jesus, I really have gotten grayer. But it's still there, so it's a good thing.
So I don't know if you get this or not. You know, for women during COVID, going natural has been a necessity.
Yeah.
And so somebody asked me like, oh, did you color your hair? And I thought, no, nature did and God did. And I'm sticking to it. You know, it's so much easier.
Yeah, there you go. That's how it is. But I have heard that from a lot of people. So. I actually have a neighbor that she's in the process of she's in a two-tone process.
Going gray. Yep. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. There's the love of my life, Roland Sanchez Medina.
Oh.
And the love of my life.
This is the best webinar.
Javier, what do you say about that? Bueno, Javier and me, when then we're.
Don't worry, we'll get to Javier in a second. But all I will tell you is that you know, I'd say that if they made marriage legal, we could get married, but it already is. So, and besides, you're already married. So
I would want to be like Saran wrap to you all 24/7.
Oh my gosh.
That's the only way that I would be happy. Just for the record.
Okay, there's 12 people on. Lovely.
We can go back to talking about my hair.
I know, right? It's a little safer.
Please, Trish. Thank you.
Yeah, right. Javier, how are you, sir?
I'm doing fine. I'm just hoping you and Roland are both wearing pants.
We are. They're not pants or shorts, but I'm wearing them.
I'm in my office in my Speedos, just stretching the legs, you know?
Oh my God. I love that you stand though. Do you have a standing desk? Because you always.
Yeah, no. I keep on reading about how bad it is to be sedentary all day long.
Yeah.
I have a desk also.
Yeah, so I got one a while ago, but I've noticed that I haven't been using it, you know, just for whatever reason. Yeah. So I want to get back into using it because I said, man, have you read the data on sedentary? And I literally sit on my buttocks, right, from morning until afternoon. And so I'm trying to make this a new normal in the middle of the pandemic.
Well, that's a good thing. I will tell you that there he is. There he is.
Oh.
Rick Beasley's coming in. We're remodeling our offices and we're getting the desks that rise and drop. There he is.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
Hi, Rick.
How y'all doing?
Brooke Beasley. So I'm not sure if everybody here knows each other, and I know we're waiting for Claudia Puig, right, Lily?
Yes.
Okay. If you all know each other here, but I've had the pleasure of knowing Trish. I met Trish many years ago. That she works with the Adrienne Arsht, and it's been awesome. And actually, I'm glad that TD has continued our relationship with Adrienne Arsht.
Me too. Thank you.
And Rick Beasley, who is my first vice chair at another chamber, but great guy. So it's wonderful. I think you all know Rick. He runs Career Source. Our very own representative, Javier Fernandez, who, I mean, I'll drop the commercial to everybody, who is running for state senate. So
thank you, Felipe.
You know, you have my support. And my other man half, my Roland Sanchez Medina, who is now chair of the South Florida Hispanic Chamber. So recently took the helm. And then, of course, the lovely Lily Lopez, who has built this chamber with her hands together and is doing a great job pivoting and changing and adapting to new environments. Claudia Puig, ¿cómo estás?
Hello, how are you?
I'm good. It's good to see you.
Oh my God, good to see you.
Today's a
How's
debate, right, Claudia? The debate.
Eh?
Today's a debate, the mayoral debate, right?
Yes, I know. A lot going on. I hope you all watch. It's today at 5 o'clock.
5 o'clock.
Yes, today at 5 o'clock. 5 to 6:30 on channel 23. You can also pick it up in univisionmiami.com. You can pick it up in Radio Mambi. You can pick it up on just about all the media, social media, the app. We're streaming it.
Yeah.
I'm excited about it. It's the first one, I think, at least in Spanish.
Oh,
First
really?
time it is being held.
Yeah. You know, it's funny, Javier, speaking of that, I always tell people, look, I love that everybody's always very interested in the presidential elections, and that's critical, but I think people need to be more and more in tune into local politics.
I think they're more entertaining too, can be.
Well, I mean, that could be said for a bunch of reasons, but yes, you're right. All right, Lily, we're at 2:02, I think.
But it's early, right? Don't you think we should give it a
so
couple minutes? I
well,
think we should maybe give a couple minutes more. I think so.
I mean, we're just going to go ahead and start with some
Okay.
introductions now. So, I mean, we have 22 participants on. So.
But we're supposed to have like around 90, so
Oh.
this is running. I know people run late. You know that. This is like a chamber function. When we have a chamber lunch, people get there late.
Yeah, that's because of traffic. I didn't get a lot of traffic.
But it doesn't matter.
I didn't get traffic from my kitchen to my office.
It's embedded in the culture, Felipe. It's embedded in the culture. That's how it
Miami
is.
time. We have our own clock.
Exactly. We have our own thing. Exactly.
Yeah.
But if you want to, we could start.
Yeah, let's go ahead and start.
Is it 2 already?
It is 2:03 p.m.
Oh, come on, Felipe. 2:03. Let's just give it a couple minutes.
I know.
Right?
Why would we be
Come on, but he's
punctual?
military. Rick, help me here.
And Rick is on time.
Rick Beasley.
Rick is a punctual guy. You're barking up the wrong tree. Rick's a punctual guy.
Sometimes.
Well, yeah.
Sometimes. He knows about Hispanic time.
It's
Rick,
not just the
remember-
Hispanics who are late. Rick can tell you about that. Rick, can you explain that there's something else out there?
I am Hispanic, so therefore, I'm late.
That's how it is, Rick. That's how it is, yeah.
Hey, Rick, with that,
Rick Beasley.
Rick, with
I
that
have to tell you all the story. I was in at the University of Miami Hospital. I just got here, probably 2 or 3 years. Gentleman is talking to me in Spanish, and I said, "Oh, no español." He turns around, he looks, and he says, "You're not proud of your heritage?" And I look at him, I'm like, "Excuse me? You're not proud of your heritage?" And I'm like, "Where are you from?" I said, "Missouri." He says, "No. What country are you from?" I said, United States. I'm from Missouri, born in Tulsa, Oklahoma. And he's looking at me and saying, "You're not proud of your heritage. I'm going to talk to your parents about your heritage." I'm looking at him like, "What?" And keep in mind, I was very, I've been here 15 years now, so I got a little darker. And I told my assistant, he said, "Probably thought you were Dominican or something." I said, "Really?" Okay. I said, "Then I need to speak Spanish then. I need to get better than speaking Spanish." But I thought it was just so funny, but he said I was
So
not
they thought
proud.
you were from where? They thought you were Cuban?
She said, well, she thought, she
It
said,
could be
Caribbean.
Cuban or Dominican for that matter.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I'm not proud of my heritage.
Puerto
And I got to
Rican.
get proud of my heritage. So,
Oh, Rick.
so I'm
Well,
custom
because we
being-
take it very personally, even though we're in the U.S., we still feel this connection.
Yeah.
Hell, just go out and buy some Goya products lately.
Yes. Los
Okay,
Oh, I
frijoles
do.
let's not get into that whole thing here, Lily.
I
This is
have,
not the time nor the place.
I have a lot of Goya products at home.
Yeah,
We have
The
I
black
would support.
beans. They're not as good as
boycott.
mine.
I don't boycott a product because somebody's trying to do good for somebody else, whether I like them or not.
And can I tell you, we deal with them a lot. They're very giving people, very special people. They have done so much to
Yeah.
feed South
Mhm.
Florida, New
Well,
York,
said
and Puerto Rico. They're
I mean,
amazing.
I don't want to get into it here. I don't want to
Nothing
get into it here, but
matters,
I mean,
you
the
know?
president is trying to do a program for prosperity, good or bad, or what the other things he are.
He's supporting. He also
He's
attended
supporting the
Obama.
program.
He attended
He didn't sit there and say everybody needs to vote for him. And if he did, he did. Please go on with your life. Anyway, let's go
good.
ahead and
Yeah,
Lily.
good.
We are
Yeah,
at 2:06. It's time
yeah.
to start. We're at
It's
31
time to start.
participants.
Exactly. Yeah. So everyone, welcome, members, friends, participants, to this week's webinar presented by the South Florida Hispanic Chamber of Commerce. It's Miami Back to Work, a trabajar, presented by First Horizon and, of course, Univision with our dear Claudio Puig. We love you. We're thrilled to have you here and to present this valuable conference to all of you. And I want to announce that next week, next Wednesday, please sign up for a conference that we're doing. It's Business, Retail, and Customer Service. It's a training program in the times of COVID-19 and is sponsored by the Milton Foundation and Miami-Dade College, where upon completion, participants will receive a certificate from Miami-Dade College, Miami-Dade Community College, and the chamber. And the deadline is Friday, and I hate that because we're used to registering at the last minute, and it's next Wednesday, but the cutoff is Friday. So please, if you're listening to me and you're interested in getting this certificate from Miami-Dade College, let us know. It's really going to be very interesting and presented by our friends, Milton Family Foundation. So now I want to acknowledge our chairman of the board with us today. Where is the great Roland Sanchez Medina? He's going to say a few words. Roland.
I'll be very brief, but I mean, I want to thank Trish and Rick, obviously, for participating. Rick, I will tell you that with your voice, you may want to consider doing a little bit of radio. So you may want to talk to Claudia a little bit later.
I can be arranged, and he speaks Spanish too, I think I heard.
Yeah.
I'm trying.
a little money on the side, man. That's all I'm suggesting. Claudia, as always, thank you very much. You're being able to do a lot of these things because of the relationship with Claudia Puig and Univision. Thank you very much. I will tell you, Javi's, I may not love Javi as much as I love Felipe, but it's right there. But he is my partner. He's my partner. Very proud of him. He's running for the Senate. I think he's got the support of a lot of people. And like I said, I think he's going to be a great advocate. And with that, I'll leave it to Lily and Felipe. And once again, thank you very much for your participation.
Well, for me, it's just my great pleasure to introduce someone who needs no introduction. He's talking here all the time. He works for me, like he says sometimes. I work for Lily. He just says it joking. It's Felipe Basuto. He's our immediate past chair, and he's I know he's president. He's immediate past chair and market president for South Florida Retail. It's a long name, TD Bank, and we love TD Bank, America's most convenient bank. How about that?
All right, there you go.
So it's all yours, Felipe, and thank you.
No, Lily, thank you so much. And it's great to be back here for another webinar. And when Roland, Lily, and I were discussing, some other topics to take on, one of the items that really came across our radar was about getting Miami back to work, and from a bunch of different channels, because we have situations where, we have a significant amount of unemployment going from, I think the city of Miami was down to 1.8% unemployment, and now I don't know exactly what the percentages are, but I guarantee you they're moving, and they move daily. I know we've opened, reopened, closed. I mean, I always share this with like my son. My son works for the hotel industry. Unfortunately, he was let go. Then it'll reopen back up. But now, since he's in management, they weren't able to keep on the salary with what they're doing right now. So he had to be let go again. It's a really difficult situation. And I know a lot of people are going back and forth, but we figured, hey, let's engage our members in our community and let's talk about getting Miami back to work. Because I think one of the greatest things that all of us as citizens feel good about is, number one, either employing people, because we have a lot of business owners, or we work for a lot of companies, but it's having a job. Having a job gives you, hopefully, for a lot of us, gives us a huge sense of accomplishment, belonging, contribution, not to mention you get a paycheck. So, but with that said, I want to go ahead and do some quick introductions overall. And I want to just introduce the panelists real quick. I'm going to ask you to do a quick self-bio, if you will. I know a lot of people know who they are, but I'll just shout out your name one by one. And then if you guys can just tell a little bit about yourself so that our audience knows who you are. I'm actually going to start first with with Javier Fernandez, Florida House of Representatives. And as Rolly said, candidate for Florida State Senate. Javi.
Thanks. First off, thanks to you all for the invitation. Again, Javier Fernandez. I have the honor of representing the 114th District in the Florida House. I am a candidate for the State Senate in Senate District 39. But here today to talk about unemployment and share a bit about what's been happening at the state in terms of processing claims. In my day-to-day life, I'm a lawyer, proudly practicing with Roland here at SMGQ Law. Thanks.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. All right. Let's go over to Rick Beasley, Executive Director for the South Florida Workforce Investment Board. Rick, welcome. Bienvenidos.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. It's great to join you. Thank you for the invitation, and Lily for the invitation. Again, Rick Beasley with Career Source South Florida, but that is our DBA, but again, the South Florida Workforce Investment Board. And we're here to be able to assist our residents in Miami-Dade County as well as Monroe County.
Perfect. Thank you. And thank you for joining us, Rick. Our very lovely Trish Brennan from Adrienne Arsht. Trish.
Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you. Thank you for holding this and inviting the Arsht Center to be a part of it. I'm the Vice President of Human Resources for the Arsht Center and have been an amazing role that I've been able to hold for about 15 years. And we'll talk a little bit later about the role of HR and the role of the Arsht Center in trying to lend their support to people who are looking for jobs. We're offering a free service.
And Trish, I'm looking forward to, I think it's outstanding that the Adrienne Arsht is more than just the incredible performance that you guys that put on for our community. So I think it'll be fantastic. Next, I want to introduce briefly and let her also share some comments, but Univision has been a phenomenal partner to our webinar series that we've had. They always join us. They publicize it for many of their listeners as well as viewers, and we get a chance to partner with them. Claudia, un gusto verte, and I'll turn it over to you. And please also, besides your introduction, any words that you want to share overall, I'll turn it over to you for a little bit.
Thank you, Felipe. For us, it's really an honor always to partner up with South Florida Hispanic Chamber. You do such an amazing job, and you always seem to be ahead of the curve of what our community needs. And I love this one in particular, putting Miami back to work. I think it couldn't be more timely and helpful. So many of our friends to know abide for anything that they've done. It's just been the circumstances of the time have found themselves unemployed after many years. So you're right on it by doing this, and we couldn't help but support everything you're doing. So we really want to share with you what we're doing. I am, as part of our Univision mission, is to serve and to help, empower, entertain, besides informing, empowering, and entertaining, to serve our community. And there couldn't be a better way to do it now than helping people find employment. So we have come up with an open line of communication with South Florida businesses. So we have a phone number that I like to give, which is 305-714-7898. If you happen to be a business and you happen to have employment, please call us on that number, 305-714-7898. We're posting every single day in all our in our 11 p.m. news. We're posting it on the radio stations. We're posting it on our online. We're posting it on our app. All the jobs that are coming in. We're getting about anywhere from 20 to 30 to 40 a day of people that are looking for to employ. So we're posting our job opportunities at the end of our news. We're posting them in all our radio stations. We're posting them in our social media and our social media sites. So it is important that everybody give us as many. So we are serving as a bridge with our community to help them connect to those jobs. So that's one of the things that we are continuing to elevate and do more of, to connect with the businesses, those opportunities that exist and where people are watching and listening and getting it, how should I say, connected. So another thing that we have is univision.com/careers. Right now, as many companies, we pretty much are frozen. We're not hiring. We're definitely doing our best to maintain the employees that we have, but there are specific needs at time. And when we do have a specific need, we will post and we will have to hire. It's a unique position. So another way is univision.com/careers. We also do a lot of homework on where the opportunities are. And one of the areas of opportunities we're finding is transportation, storage, distribution, many times driven by Amazon's and Instacart and all the new companies that are rolling out. So, and I know that I have the experts here that will talk further about that. E-commerce is another area that is opening up. Health, the health industry is also another area where there's definitely, I don't care how old or how young you are, it's never too late or too early to start reinventing yourself and taking courses and learning new skills and putting your resume together and reinventing yourself and going to the careers where the jobs are and the opportunities exist. So tutoring, online tutoring, contact tracers. remote customer service personnel, and of course, Amazon and Instacart. So there's just a lot of opportunities out there. There may not be the typical one that we've been accustomed to, but they are out there, and it's never too late to reinvent ourselves and find that. So those are some of the thoughts that I want to leave you with. And with that, I roll it back to you, Chairman Basulto.
Thank you so much, Claudia. And I shared with on the chat box the phone number. If you, like Claudia Puig shared, if you're seeking to employ, they need you to reach out so they can have the positions in order to post them to their sites and share them on the 11 o'clock and the radio. And
we're getting a lot of feedback. People are grateful. They watch out for our news. We post it everywhere in all our assets, all our platforms. We post constantly the job opportunities out there. So that's our 2 cents to help your big effort.
Thank you. You very much. And if you're looking to connect to your community, you're serving your mission. So that's
there's so many ways and so much need right now. We hope to continue to help with South Florida Hispanic Chamber. Thank you.
Yay, thank you.
We appreciate that. Perfect. Thank you so much. All right. So before we get started, though, let's have a little bit of fun, because then we're going to get into all this subject matter. I just want to do a quick start. This whole time during, and we did this last time, and it was hysterical. By the way, we found out that Congresswoman Shalala was adopting a dog. That was her special COVID story. We all have a story from COVID. You've either been binge watching some shows, you have engaged in retail online therapy and buying things you don't need with money you don't have. And you're just waiting for Amazon to come knocking at the door. Maybe like, you've developed a new hobby. So let's all engage. And I'm going to go ahead and start. And I'm going to share with all of you that during this time, I've actually taken up painting. Now, please let me disclaim this. First of all, beauty is in the eye of the beholder in art, so that's a very important thing. And I don't have any of my pieces here because they're not ready for public view. But nonetheless, I started doing it. It's very soothing. Lily knows, because Lily has actually seen them, and her daughter Lilita has helped me because she's a great artist on some technique items. Not to mention YouTube has a lot of ways, but that's what I'm doing. So Representative Fernandez, talk to me.
Great.
What is your guilty pleasure or your guilty action?
Well, we have, as a family, started playing Continental, which is a game I never thought I would play.
Oh my God, I love it.
So we're doing that pretty often. My wife and my 2 kids, they are now avid Continental players at the age of 10 and 12, respectively. And then I have just finished binging Peaky Blinders and finished seeing the last season of Suits, which I was waiting to come on Prime for a long time. So that's been my guilty pleasure when I'm not sleeping the last couple of weeks.
No problem. 1 trip, 1 straight. 2 straights, 3
there you
trips.
Go.
I love Continental. I love that game. Absolutely love that game. Too bad we're in COVID. If not, I'd come and play with the family.
Come over and play sometime.
I know. Perfect. Trish Brennan, talk to us. What's your guilty pleasure?
So I've really gotten into music and lyrics. That won't surprise you, being in the arts. But what's surprising about it is my music taste is like a 30-year span. So this past week was Moby and Crosby, Stills and Nash.
Oh.
And I don't know why, but yeah, it spans. And I'd say that the wrong purchase that I made was like a 3-gallon drum of hair conditioner that I can't lift and I can't put anywhere. So I've got this huge tub that I'll have for the next 30 years. It will decompose, or I won't be able to put it on my head. But yeah, it was like a 3-gallon drum of hair conditioner.
Well, you can always diversify your COVID activities and then order little plastic bottles and then
sell it to the neighborhood. Yes,
Mercari.
yes, of course.
Trish, you can give me some. You can give me some, Trish.
I knew that was coming.
Listen, Rick, I don't recognize you without a bow tie. I'm not sure who I'm talking to.
Right? I know. I noticed. It's funny you say it, Trish. I noticed when he came on, he didn't have his signature bow tie on. So speaking of that, that takes us right over to you, Mr. Beasley.
You know, when I do have a little downtime, I love sitting outside in my courtyard, again, having a glass of wine, but a nice cigar or a scotch. But I love, there's a young man, a jazz musician, I love listening to Pandora, but his name is Paul Taylor. And I mean, he is fantastic. I've just the music on there, but his own personal music has just been fantastic. And then binge watching TV. If you have not seen Yellowstone series, please watch it with Kevin Costner. Oh my God.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I know which one it is.
It is fantastic. I couldn't break away from it. Couldn't break away. It is a great series. So that's what I do since of COVID.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Perfect. So Claudia Puig, what about you? You're on mute, by the way.
I'm sorry, could you repeat again?
No, what's your guilty pleasure now during COVID? What activity have you been doing, or what have you bought that you regret?
It's something that I have to be guilty about.
Well, you know what I mean. You don't have to be guilty.
Eating too much.
Oh, the refrigerator just calls your name all day.
Yes, actually, I had my sister leave New York and went to quarantine in Jekyll Island. And when she came down, her husband not only has many talents as an architect, but he's also a great chef.
Oh.
And they're living with me temporarily because they were in Manhattan and things got complicated for them. The corona was just out of control. So now we're borderline the epicenter, but I know that Miami will not get that bad. We will overcome it and this will pass. But I think cooking and eating is one of them. But I miss the toasting and seeing my friends and seeing everybody in person. And I don't miss the galas, I have to tell you. I don't miss getting dressed up in balls. And so, but I do miss having social gatherings with friends and sharing, toasting to a good glass of wine. But we can do that via Zoom.
Yes. We have that pending.
Yes.
We have that pending.
With all of you.
Pending. Then Lily, by the way, your guilty pleasure. So Lily's been cooking. As a matter of fact, if not mistaken, because all you have to do is follow Lily on Instagram or Facebook, and she'll share with you because she actually is a great cook, a hidden talent. Not mistaken, you made eggplant parmesan last night, was it?
Yes, with the help of Lilith, of course, my daughter. She's very organized. But I do know how to cook. I do Cuban, picadillo, arroz con frijoles. That I know how to do. Tasajo, ropa vieja, vaca frita. I know how to do all of that. If it's more sophisticated, then my daughter comes on board.
I love to eat. I'm not a cook, but I love to eat.
Now we're gonna get hungry on here. But Lily, we would like a piano recital would be nice over the next couple days, just to throw out there.
Okay, right.
I some Bach or Mozart on is my special request, please.
Bach, okay. I love Bach. Yeah, I studied 8 years of piano. My mother was a piano teacher, so I graduated.
Fantastic.
Yes, watch her. I'm telling you, follow on Instagram. This will all be ready for you. Perfect. We're going to jump into a few things overall to go into some of our content. Thank you for that. I thought it'd just be fun to change it up. And I'm going to start with you, Representative Fernandez, regarding unemployment. And I think I know we've all seen the news articles, and we probably know of many people who have been affected by, the system. If you want, you can take us through what's happened. I know you're very straightforward with, what's gone on with our unemployment system and the claims and the benefits and the payment of the benefits, systematic issues, delivery of payments. Can you elaborate what's happened and
Sure,
what we're doing about it?
Happy to. And again, first of all, let's start by saying an unprecedented volume of claims. We've had more than 2.8 million unique claims filed in the state of Florida. Thus far, we've processed about 1.9 million of those, paid over $10 billion in total benefits between the federal pandemic benefits and straight unemployment from the state. To give you a sense, we've spent $2.3 billion of a $3.9 billion fund balance in our unemployment insurance fund. Thus far, that's about 61% of the fund balance that's gone out the door. All of it from the beginning of this pandemic, essentially. We have seen more than $7.3 billion in the federal pandemic unemployment compensation, the FPUC monies. That's the extra $600 a week that have been paid out. More than $300 million in pandemic unemployment assistance, which is basically the federal benefit for folks who don't qualify for standard unemployment. And we're now seeing payments for the extended unemployment benefit. So our UI system expires after 12 weeks here in Florida. We're now seeing we've paid over $100 million in claims to those claimants thus far. In terms of the system operation, lots of issues. I'll kind of give you the highlight. We've fielded thousands of claims. Are actively managing about a caseload of about 250 trouble claims that we're trying to help kind of push through the process in my office. First and foremost, what we're seeing most recently, the kind of the new issue is that people are not able to claim the retroactive benefits. You'll recall we had a lot of issues onboarding claims at the beginning. The governor made a commitment that we would play retroactive benefits to people who had difficulties. There has been a toll-free number set up. System has been less than optimal in terms of its operation, to be kind, and people are having a hard time getting their eligibility dates retroactively changed. So a lot of work to do on that front. We're also seeing that a lot of people are getting partial payments, but they're missing payments either on the state side or one of the federal benefits. Lots of folks not getting the FPUC money, the $600 a week. And so that continues to be an issue. We've had a slew and continue to have technical issues with the system. A lot of things that the governor has done that have been positive in terms of his emergency orders, like waiving job search requirements. When in application you go onto the system and try to take advantage of that waiver, it becomes an obstacle to processing your claim. So those are issues that are still working their way through. One highlight, one positive note I'll share with the system is that we're actually making a lot of progress in dealing with claims that are created on fraud. A lot of folks have had their claims denied because someone else fraudulently processed a claim either in the past or during the pandemic using their name and social security number. We have set up an ID.me system with a third-party technology partner, and that solution seems to be working fairly well for claimants as we interact with them. One other issue is we're not doing a great job of serving our Spanish-speaking and Haitian Creole-speaking populations here through the call centers. A lot of those calls get hung up because there's not the ability to speak the alternate language. So those claimants, after long delays getting onto a call with an operator, often have their calls disconnected. We're also seeing similar issues with translation of applications that were completed in another language that are also delaying the processing of those claims. And then there's still a lot of people who are just not getting any benefits. That's a growing minority, but that's still a problem. About 225,000 people are sitting in the claim verification queue, which touches on a bunch of different issues, identity verification, outside employment from outside the state of Florida, among other issues that are checked during that screening process. And I think the biggest issue is a lack of advanced communication, consistent communication, and a system that's user-friendly. For many people, when they get onto the Connect system, they see that they're ineligible for state benefits and assume that they have a problem. You know, there's been embedded links for the federal benefit that you've got to connect to that are not self-evident. So the system could use a lot more optimization in just how it communicates and presents information to people who are, in many cases during this cycle, very unaccustomed to asking for public assistance. You know, we did see some positive news in May's jobs report. We picked up 182,000 new jobs. The unemployment rate was hovering about 14.5%, so some positive momentum there, down from where it was before. That's about 21% of the jobs that we lost year over year. We're down 850,000 jobs between May 2019 and May 2020. But again, 182,000 jobs came back online in May, and we're waiting for the newest job figures, which should post July 17th, this Friday at 10 a.m. So we're eagerly awaiting that. One thing I'd like to share and love to get some feedback from your members is that, you know, initially in the first round of CARES, our Congress passed a paid family leave benefit, which was a tax credit for employers to basically provide 2 weeks of paid family leave to people who are either exposed, diagnosed, or caring for someone who had COVID. I'm curious to see from your members how that's working. There are exemptions for small firms below 50. If it's a financial hardship, firms over 500 are exempt from the benefit. But for me, it's really a critical thing that we provide a benefit to keep people out of the economy if they've been exposed or have COVID, certainly, and are not unemployed. Let's be clear. So the people that are not unemployed but have an exposure, are caring for someone who's sick or are sick themselves, given the economic circumstances, if we're not providing effective assistance, there's an incentive not to report, to cheat essentially, which is only going to prolong this crisis. So curious to see if your members are taking advantage of that benefit, and if not, what we can do to improve it, because, you know, frankly, a tax credit right now may not be attractive to too many firms, maybe a very difficult cost center for them to manage. I'm wondering, in terms of my conversations with our federal delegation, whether that should be a direct payment to those companies to offset that benefit that we're offering employees. I think that's an essential tool that we need to kind of put to work if we're going to get out of the thick of this crisis right now and eventually get our economy fully reopened again. So Felipe, that's all I have by way of a quick update. If anyone has any questions, happy to elaborate on any of the points I mentioned.
No, thank you, Javier, and thank you for.
If I may, Chairman Basulto or Chairman Sanchez, if I may have a question for Javier or any of the panelists. We get a lot of questions. There's people that are still discovering that they can apply for unemployment, whether you believe it or not. Some people are still not aware, and they've been unemployed maybe 2 months, 3 months, and they have not even applied. What do you have to say for them? Is that still, can that be retroactive? That's, can they apply? And
so that is the $1 million question. What's happening right now, one of the difficulties is that a lot of folks have not documented their difficulties in connecting to the system. So if they have not attempted to apply, I think the answer to their applying for the benefit is you can get the benefit prospectively, but they're probably not going to recognize your claim retroactively. So you can certainly get the benefit on a going forward basis, but you're not going to be eligible to get the basis back to the date of your original unemployment. So, because we are seeing that in our communications with DEO dealing with some of these cases, they're asking for some evidence that you made an attempt to apply shortly after losing your job. That's the best I can answer for you at this time. If you have anybody that has any questions for the benefit of the entire group, you can call my office at 305-442-6825. Again, 305-442-6825. If Lillian maybe wants to put that in the chat, you can call us. If you're thinking about layoffs, that's still part of your future picture, call us. One of the things we're trying to do with employers, and may have a cohort of employees, is to help them onboard those people into the system in a more coordinated way, so that they've got a point of contact either through our office or DEO at the front end of the process, and we can kind of eliminate some of the obstacles to getting benefits. I know employers struggle with letting people go. We want to make sure that you're seen as a caring and sensitive employer. If we can help you do that by helping facilitate their onboarding onto the system, we're happy to make that effort. Right now, DEO has been trying to do that at a threshold of 1,000 employees or more. We've been advocating that they drop that. I've had some employers in my district that employ 300 people that unfortunately have to let that many people go, or a substantial portion of that workforce. And I think it would just be better coordinated if we can connect the employer at the front end with DEO, given the volumes that we're seeing, as opposed to leaving each individual claimant to their own devices. So,
Representative, this is Rick Beasley. Typically what happens on that mass layoff, they send it down to us. So I'll be glad to reach out to you after this to see how we can coordinate, because typically on what they call the mass layoff or the warn notices, those come to Tallahassee, then they send them down to us, and maybe 2 or 3 days later. But if you already know about it, it'd be great to work with our staff, because that's what we do. We go in, we work with him in terms of what we call rapid response activities to be able to get the individuals, the job seekers, reconnected. But if there's a way for us to kind of to avert that layoff in any kind of way, again, we work with you on a number of occasions on the short time compensation. If there's a way for us to work with them to maintain the employees through whatever programs we have, it'd be best to do that, but we'd love to work with you to do.
Thank you, Rick, for that information. We've seen most of these are in the hospitality and/or restaurant space.
Right.
So,
right.
love to connect them with you, because I think it would be a great service to their employees.
Perfect. Thank you both. That's great. No, Representative Fernandez, thank you so much for going and reviewing the claims and how we're doing it. It's complicated, and so it's a trying time for some people. And thank you for sharing your number. And I know Lily did post it on the comments section, by the way, for those who are unemployed and seeking assistance in getting through. Rick, since you just chimed in, let's talk a little bit about Career Source and the functionality. I think it'll be important to share with everybody just what Career Source does, the South Florida Workforce Board, and I think it'll be impactful, if you go over the purpose and function. And then let's go over the activities and programs that your organization has to support employees in South Florida, both businesses and employees.
Exactly. Well, for those who don't know, Felipe, we've been working with Felipe for a number of years, and he is, let me just share with you all, Lily, I know I'm speaking to the choir, appreciate the choir to you all and with this chamber, but he has been an outstanding leader with the Greater Miami Chamber of Commerce and other boards that he serves on. But I will tell you, through COVID, he has not given up. He has not taken time off for us to even breathe. He wants to make sure that this community is thriving. And so through your leadership, Felipe, we love you. We can continue to support whatever you want us to do. And so with that,
Much love to you, brother. Much love to you.
He's got us heavily involved. And so Career Source, a lot of folks don't really know. We changed our name several years ago. Several years ago, we were called South Florida Workforce Investment. We were South Florida Workforce. That's what most folks knew us by. So we changed it back in 2014 to Career Source South Florida. There are 24 boards in the state of Florida. We are chartered to provide employment and training solutions in this county. So we do it in Dade as well as Monroe County. So we cover Dade and Monroe. We are the largest workforce board, not only in the state of Florida. We're the largest workforce board actually in the South and one of the largest in the country. Our goal there and our funding is federally funded. Our role there is to assist job seekers as well as help employers connect and find employment or retrain their existing workforce, or in this case, to avert layoffs as we go through COVID-19. Representative Fernandez, we've been working with his office since COVID. He has been a champion as it relates to unemployment insurance benefits, and I hope the folks who are hearing my voice understand that this man, our representative, has been fighting with DEO to ensure that the citizens in our county get access to unemployment. I've been on calls with him, personal calls with him, trying to look at finding solutions on how we provide additional services to our citizens here. So let me share with you all what we have done. When COVID-19 first launched, we went to DEO, the Department of Economic Opportunity, asked them to give us permission to create a reemployment hub. We've done this before. We did this under the first recession back in 2008. There we created a 1-800 number to engage the citizens in our respective community, to be able to process their unemployment benefits, help them reset their passwords on the Connect system. When we made a request for this year or during this this pandemic, we were told no. We were told that the only thing that we could do possibly is to be able to reset their PINs. We had in arms up to 80 individuals on my staff as well as state staff who work for us prepared to launch a reemployment hub. We had up to 200 cell phone lines available for our call center. Mayor Jimenez actually had made available up to 200 or 300 additional staff in the county that could be able to help us serve the residents in our community. I will share with you, Mayor Jimenez wanted us to even utilize county resources at one time to be able to pay the unemployment benefits for the citizens in this community. Those are things that we have tried to do. But the call center, we open that call center up, and let me give it to you because it's still open. And again, any individual who's needing assistance for their unemployment benefits, who are needing to file or reset their PINs. Now, we cannot process their claims, but we sure can look up to see what the status is on those claims. If they're looking for employment, again, as you know, because of COVID, we had to re-engineer how we did our business in our career centers, and we have 13, 14 career centers in Dade and in Monroe County. And so this telephone number, they can call 305-929-1547. Again, that number is 305-929-1547. You can hit 1 for unemployment assistance or 2 looking for employment. And again, our role there was to help reset passwords. We've been able to have folks fax in their information to us. We'll fax it up to Tallahassee. We've been doing those services so that we could assist our community. We felt it was necessary, and we've been pushing and pushing for us to have access to do more than just resetting PINs, entering the information in. I will share with you, in partnership with Mayor Jimenez and Ray Baker, the director over the libraries, we collected over 30,000 paper applications. And every night we would overnight them to Tallahassee. Every night we would overnight them to Tallahassee. It was our role of being able to assist to ensure our citizens had access or to be able to get their claims processed because the Connect system was not working. Also, with that, in terms of the employment, we've launched what we call, and it's done every day, it's sent out, and I'll make sure that, Lily, if you're not on the email list, that we can get out to you all. But we release every day, on a daily basis, a top 10 jobs. We have well over 300 or 400 job openings that come into us regularly. Almost daily. I was asking staff what was the numbers that come in. But we send the top 10 jobs every day to the community. We do it in English, we do it in Spanish, and we do it in Creole. And so we launched this at the height of the pandemic because it was to let our citizens know that employers are still hiring. Because of COVID-19 does not mean that everything is shutting down. It was a way of saying, hey, we want Miami to get back to work. And so we launched that initiative. And so that email blast goes out daily in Dade County as well as Monroe County. So we list the top 10 job openings. And that's just the top 10 because if you actually click on it, it goes into all the job openings. And so anyone who hears my voice, have them apply through Employed Miami-Dade. It's a job bank. It's an app that we've launched. We did this in partnership with Mayor Fernandez several years ago. And so there's a website, Employed Miami-Dade. I want to make sure, I'm gonna get it right here. My staff will kill me if I get it wrong. It's employedmiamidade.com. www.employ-miamidade.com. And so if anyone here that hears my voice is in Monroe County, we also have www.employ-monroecounty.com. And so those jobs are available. Job employers list their job openings there. Again, we launched this initiative or to push folks going to using the website. Now, here recently, again, we've got two major initiatives that we have really put forth. The first one, because, and I think Representative Fernandez indicated, we had a number of our citizens, we still have citizens in this county that do not have access to any type of resources in terms of funding. We, again, partnering with United Way and others. We launched Operation Impact. And Operation Impact, we provide employment services, training services, and support services. And the support services up to $1,000 for individuals who are in our program. We either pay for a house note up to $1,000, car note, utility bills, child care. The goal there was to help our citizens. Now, I can't say that other workforce boards in the rest of the state are doing this. No. I can say in Dade and Monroe County, we have launched this to help our residents in our respective counties. We've done that so that our folks had access to some resources. We partnered with United Ways in Dade and in Monroe County to ensure that folks aren't double dipping, but it was a way that we can expand and serve more. So that's one of the initiatives. And so all they had to do was go to our website, Operation Impact, on our website, www.careersourcesfl.com. And then the other one, a major initiative that we launched with helping employers. Our board has put in roughly $2.3 million to provide grants to small employers. Again, our concentration was on small employers. We call it COVID-19 Layoff Aversion Fund. And we're partnering with the Beacon Council, with the Greater Miami Chamber of Commerce, with Chemical, with Tools for Change here in Dade County, and in Monroe County, Key West Chamber of Commerce, and the Marathon Chamber of Commerce. Again, employers can go in from our website, click on a link. It's called COVID-19 Layoff Aversion Fund. Go right to the website and apply. It's a way for us to help small employers. You got to have a minimum of at least 3 employees, no more than 50. And if you have 3 to 10, we give up to 5,000. If you have from 11 to 25 up to 7,500, and then 26 up to 50, up to 10 grand. And those dollars are used to help those employers who've utilized funds to keep employees on board, whether they bought PPE, or any other equipment to be able to keep employees. Now, we don't use the dollars for capitalization, but we use the dollars to reimburse for those small employers who have used resources to keep employees on, or they bought materials to bring employees back. We can reimburse those costs. So we are excited about it because the first time we've done it, we got a little creative. We did go to U.S. Department of Labor, make sure that we dot a I and cross a T. Our goal is, if we can get additional allocation, is put additional $4 million into this grant program. But right now, we have roughly 773 businesses and not-for-profits. So let me back up. I just mentioned businesses, but it's also 4 not-for-profits as well that are located here in Dade County. And so we've had probably requests up to $4.4 million, 773. And again, our goal there is to serve our community. So
Rick,
we've been
Rick, let me ask you a quick question. The layoff aversion, those channels or portals, it's just a link, or are those organizations like the Beacon Council or Greater Miami Chamber, are they functioning or doing anything, or are they just links to your page?
No, actually, the staff there are going through and reviewing the documentation, and they are approving or actually verifying the documentation in the system.
Yeah,
And
Lily, Lily, we should go ahead and we can engage where the Greater Miami Chamber can go as an example, or Beacon Council for our members in order to link through there, because there is some administrative function. We don't have the staff size that the Greater Miami Chamber does. Lily runs a tight ship. So I just wanted to make sure that everybody, that's why we're not participating, but thanks, Rick.
Well, again, let me first say that we would love to partner with this chamber as well. We've been known Lily for a long period of time, and the work that you all do really does some fantastic work. I mean, again, just being here, again, is for providing resources to their business community. It is important. And sometimes we think by just not sharing information is not important. It's more important than anything else, getting access to resources. So Lily, you just let us know how we can continue to work with you.
Sure.
We're glad to, but we think it's a fantastic program. So, I mean, I just mentioned those items there. I mean, we've got so much going on, which is why I only get a chance to sleep for a hot minute and only got a chance to watch Yellowstone for a hot minute.
I think there's a lot that we could do to post and share some of your activities. That would be great for us to do. So I'm sure Lily can follow up with you and Rick and somebody on your staff team. There is a question that came through for you, Rick, on the Q&A. Okay. This is a question for Rick. I know your institution helps the employer for 75% of 3 months salary. Will it be considered for perhaps 4 to 6 months during this period? I guess you're looking to extend the time frame.
Have them get in contact with. There's some things that we are pressuring DEO on because of COVID. We applied for what we call a national emergency grant, where we can do temporary employment, meaning that we're able to assist our job seekers working with employers to get employment. And the reason it has to be temporary is because that's how the funding works. But there might be an opportunity for us to extend and provide additional resources beyond up to 6 months. And so just have them reach out to me. They can reach and call my number at 305-929-1501 and just ask for me. Again, 305-929-1501. We'll get you in contact with some of our business service reps. That way we can work with you to look for those employers, because again, Felipe, what I've been fussing with DEO and the U.S. Department of Labor is that our small employers are having difficulty getting access to PPP. Why don't we subsidize the wages in the interim for those employers as they keep the employees on, so that, again, that's their biggest expense that employers are going to run into. It keeps people employed. It helps the employer be able to stay afloat. And so, again, somewhat of a pushback, but it is, again, it's a U.S. Department of Labor item that we'll continue to fight. I'm going to continue to fight, and I'm going to get with Representative Fernandez to see what else we can do. But it's a way for us to help our small employers, and really all employers, small or big. But it's a way to keep our people working and keep employers working.
Perfect. No, thank you, sir. Thank you very much. And thank you for elaborating on that, and for a lot of the great things that you guys do. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to jump over to Trish Brennan because when Lily shared with me what Adrienne Arsht was doing, I was really impressed. We all know Adrienne Arsht to bring in incredible performances, whether it be at the Ziff Opera House or both of any one of your both performance houses, and everything that you do there, Trish, is just world class. But this was really very impressive, and I'd love for you to elaborate with everybody on your Arsht at Work program. So I'll just give it over to you, and you share with the rest of our team here.
Thank you. So when our presentation of Hamilton was interrupted in the middle of March, That's when we had to break. The Arsht Center quickly pivoted, and what we do for a living, which is connect people with live performances, was disrupted. And in that process, we decided that we would have a virtual viral presentation over the internet like other organization. And that program is called Arsht at Home. And each week it has a variety of programs. And in this program, I kept thinking, what can HR do? HR in organizations has been the heart and soul of helping companies pivot around and work through layoffs and keeping employment and benefits and all of this. So what can HR do? And I partner with the Director of Human Resources, Kimba King, and together we came up with an idea to serve anyone who needs help, whether you're employed or not employed. We are providing through the Arsht at Work program one-on-one coaching on either interviewing skills or resume review. We've seen a few hundred people since April. We give a half hour of time to begin with. Oftentimes people sign up for the next session, and at no cost, at no obligation, there's no quid pro quo. The Arsht Center HR team is providing coaching to people who just want to have a professional take a look at their resume, or a professional help them through their interviewing skills. You can sign up at the Arsht Center website, arsht.com, or under Arsht at Home. Take a look through some of the presentations that we're offering. If you scroll down to the bottom, you can reach us at Arsht at Work. It usually takes a couple days to sign up. And we have seen members of the community from entry-level people coming out of high school to those that we've talked to at the CEO level. When I say our community has reached far and wide, we've spoken to people in Dubai, in Portland, Oregon, so it's reaching beyond just the Miami community, but the intention in the service was to provide a resource for people and a place to go at no cost to them to take a look at their resume. And I guarantee you every resume that we've looked at has one tweak or more that someone has to make. And with interviewing skills, you know, we look at answering the question, tell me about yourself. And the thing that's been so humbling to us in doing this is that people have said back to us, this program and just having a conversation and having someone to talk to and having someone to coach us gives us hope. And if there's anything that the Arsht Center does, it gives hope. And so we believe that every HR person across the country should be lending their skills during this time to do this very same thing.
No, I think that's great. And by the way, just so you all know, and Trish, Suzette Fuentes actually just posted on the comment box the link to the Arsht Center for the Arsht at, I would imagine, Suzette, hopefully that is for the Arsht at Work program, because I didn't click on the link, because if not, I'll get out of the webinar by mistake.
So anyone is welcome to sign up and get some help.
I wanted to say something that we had Suzette Espinosa. We did a mini show, a 5-minute show that I'm doing virtually, and we had Suzette, and she did a great job, and she provided all the information about all the wonderful things that you guys are doing.
Yeah, no, they're amazing. Again, Arsht Center never ceases to amaze me, and I did enjoy the Hamilton presentation tremendously. That was the first time I saw it because it was always overpriced in New York. Anyways, so just last words of wisdom for everybody. I think that there's things we want to impart and share with everybody, and I'm going to take it back through. So Trish, you know, we left off with you, but anything you want to add during this time? And by the way, I loved your comment that Arsht is there for any type of hope, whether it be artistic or financial, as we need in this time. I mean, like I said, jobs create great stability for us as citizens and humans.
So just a couple of points before we end. This service is available through if your company is going through some things and you want to provide this as a resource to your team, please do. And the other thing I'd say to the individuals that are thinking about, do I like what I do right now? You know, the employment deck certainly got shuffled as COVID came on. And as we redeal the hands, there are going to be jobs that open up. And it's those that really are proactive during this time. It's an amazing time to expand out your virtual network. It's an amazing time to ask for an informational interview. It's an amazing time to get ready for all the touch points that you have, because when the job market opens up, I doubt that it'll open up in a tsunami, but it will open up piece by piece. And this is a really amazing time, whether you're watching Yellowstone or playing Continental or whatever, like get your stuff ready, be ready.
That was awesome. Love it. I love your tie back. That was outstanding. Perfect. Rick Beasley, last words of wisdom. Anything else you want to share with our audience?
I want our, the audience, the job seekers, please go out to Employed Miami-Dade or CareerSource, SFL.com. Also, for those businesses that are needing assistance, please touch base on our website, but really work with the Beacon Council, Greater Miami Chamber, Chemical, as well as Tools for Change. I will say this: we will be launching virtual job fairs, and we'll be working with our respective cities and some of our other partner agencies, some of the chambers. We're glad to work with this chamber to do so that we can offer these job fairs virtually, and we'll be launching that in the next week or so.
Please do so, by the way, because we're just getting all bent out of shape that you're mentioning Camarco, in the middle of our presentation.
Oh, I apologize.
No, it's okay, dude. It's all good. It's all good, Rick. It's all good. It's a love here. We're a chamber of love. We're a chamber of love. Perfect. Let's go to our future state senator. Oh, did I say that out loud again? Yes, I did. Javier Fernandez. I'm just again expressing my support.
Speak it into reality. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Hey man, make it so. That's a Star Trek reference, but make it so.
There you go. I just want to offer this thought. I mean, we all lived through the last crisis, and it was a tough time. And I think one of the things I took away from it coming out of law school in the middle of that is it's a good opportunity to kind of grow your skill set through some service. And I certainly had a chance to work with some nonprofits as a lawyer who was trying to find a way to make himself useful, build some skills during a downtime. And so I think if we look to some organizations that could use our help, or people who could use our help, we can learn a lot in the process and expand our skills and training while being productive and being of help to our fellow man and our community. So I would encourage folks to explore some of those opportunities. It may not be paid opportunities, but certainly they can provide a lot of good learning. And lastly, I think we're all hopeful that we will get through this crisis very quickly. And the truth is, the answer lies in each of our own hands. If we can exercise the self-restraint to wear a mask, although it's inconvenient, socially distance, try to limit our social interactions to just the people that we live with in our own household, we'll get through this crisis a lot faster, and certainly forestall the worst in terms of future closures, which are going to impact people's lives all the more dramatically economically. So thanks for the opportunity to participate today, and look forward to, if you guys need anything, we are a resource to you. Again, call the office 305-442-6825, and I'll share my personal cell phone, which is 305-761-2274. Feel free to call. We're here to be of help. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Javier. So I need, Claudia, I know we spoke before, but I'm actually going to turn over to Roland because there was one more question, and we're at 2:59. We're set till 3 o'clock, right, Lily?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, I'm going to go over a couple minutes because I want Roland Sanchez-Medina, our chair, to share. Roland, there's a question that came in regarding basically the efforts for the South Florida Hispanic Chamber on really getting our businesses back open again. There's been a lot of controversy, as you all know, with restaurants, outdoor seating, indoor seating, and I know, Representative Fernandez talked about, let's be careful with closures. We want to do what we can. And obviously, as a Chamber of Commerce, we want to promote commerce. And Rolly, you penned an incredible letter on behalf of the Chamber, representing us as chair and representing the board. If you could just add a few comments, because I want people to understand how we're making an effort in stating our case. You're on mute. Rolly. There you go, handsome.
Did you want to? I'm sorry. Did you want me to ask them the question that's in the question and answer box?
You can address it. I just want to. I was trying to address it a little more globally than what they were asking, but yes.
Yeah, no, thank you. So the question is, should we be looking to open up more, such as the approach that Central Florida has with the opening of Disney and the other parks, or follow the path set out by the mayor and continue to remain partially closed or shut down? And it's a difficult question, frankly, because Central Florida has not been hit anywhere like South Florida, and so in that regard, we're not really comparing apples to apples. But maybe if you guys can just chime in before we wrap it up as to that particular issue. Javi, maybe you can go first.
Sure, happy to. I mean, I think the one thing I'm watching very closely, both because given my interest in Monroe now with the race and my representation of Dade currently, is what's happening in terms of hospital capacity. We've got in Dade County, plenty of physical installations. We can convert beds from non-ICU to ICU beds. The problem we're running into is really the staffing, the human resources to care for patients as cases ratchet up. So the big challenge is, do we have the staffing to provide more capacity? And I think that's what's going to dictate what the mayor does in terms of possibly further closures. Now, again, that's all a product of what we do as individuals. We got to put the we ahead of the me here for a few weeks and dial back some of our interactions so that we can help tamp this thing down. I think embedded in this crisis for South Florida as well, we should think of this as an opportunity. If we manage this better, if we get ahead of this quickly, we've seen that we are a natural refuge for capital and people from all over the world. And we saw that happening at the beginning of this crisis with people from New York coming to Florida, looking to invest, looking to relocate their businesses. That stopped because of what's happened in recent weeks with cases going up. But if we get this under control again, we're going to put ourselves back on that same trajectory. And so if we all own up a little bit, do a little bit more, I think we're going to recover very quickly as a community. It's happened after 2008 and 2009, and I think it's going to happen again here once we get through the worst of COVID.
Trish, if you can then respond, and then Rick, and then Claudia, I'll give you the last word.
So it's a little bit of a difficult question, I think, for me to answer. The Adrienne Arsht Center, each hall that we have seats over 2,000 people. And the business aspect of the Arsht Center doesn't work unless we have full houses. So opening up, it's just right now, it's just, an impossibility. And, what we're hoping for, what Javier said, and that people have this in their own hands. And the more we take responsibility of keeping this in our own hands, the more we help each other to create an environment where we can open up safely.
Thank you, Trish. Rick?
Sure.
What was the question again? Sorry.
Central Florida is sort of taking a different approach with the opening of the parks in Walt Disney, and as compared to South Florida, where at least Miami-Dade County, where it's a much more, it's a closed approach now. And the question is, which is a better approach? I said, I think part of the issue, Rick, is obviously Central Florida is very different than what's going on in Miami-Dade County, as people were calling the new Wuhan. But I'm curious as to your opinion on that.
Well, I think we had to be, on one hand, we need to have our businesses open so that they can continue to flourish and employ. On the other hand, we also need to be very cautious about the spread, the enhancement of the spreading of this virus. I think we have to be very cautious in what we do, whether one is, to open up all the way. And again, we have the potential of losing a number of companies for forever. And that's a cloud, the dark cloud we're going to have to live with. We got to look at the silver lining, but also how many lives can we save? And I think, our policymakers have to take the information that they have, make good, sound decisions that's going to be in the best interest of everyone, our citizens, our business, and mainly our community. And so there's really no, if I had a crystal ball, I'd wave a wand, we get rid of it, we all go back. But what happens in Central Florida is a lot different than we're having here. We're having more the spreading, or more the, let's say, the notification of the virus. So I think that's really causing us to have some pause. But I think also, if we look at it, we can analyze it and make the best decision for our community.
Great. Rolly, you're back on mute. I'm going to take it as Claudia, if you wanted to add any comments, and then I'm going to go ahead and wrap us up. Sorry, Rolly.
I just want to add, I think we're also looking for small communities. I mean, our small businesses owners are just really in terrible, terrible pain. It's just horrible to watch. But there is a reality to what you said, Javier. The hospitals are bursting. I know that we've been talking to them. The hospitals are at full capacity at the brim. So we're in a really tough situation because our small business owners cannot take it any longer and the hospitals are bursting. So we're in a very difficult crossroad right now. But I do believe that Miami is a vibrant city. I do believe, like you said, you expressed it very well, Javier, we need to get over this hump right now quickly. People need to behave a little bit better. We need to lower the numbers in the next 2 or 3 weeks, and we need to get back into opening because we need to get I mean, if I had a small business right now, I owned Quiznos a while back ago. I can tell you, if I was still owning those Quiznos, I'd be really in a lot of pain right now. And so I suffer for those businesses. So it's a very tough time. But I have to tell you, I have to compliment Trish. I can't believe what Art Center's doing. Rick, you had so much information. Javier, onboarding and everything you spoke. There's so many stories right here. Thank you, South Florida Chamber, for providing these stories. I'd love to do stories on all of you because I learned from all of you today and you're all doing amazing things. If you're letting go of a lot of employees, they should be calling you, Javier, to have your office help them on board. Rick, your information was amazing about, sources, career sources, and Miami-Dade and employee, and your virtual job fairs I want to cover. And Trish, I can't believe what you're doing to help our community. That's a story to itself, all of them. So again, our wonderful chairs, new and past, and Lily, again, you guys are just really stepping up to help our community.
Thank you. Thank you, Claudia. And by the way, that's the president and general manager for Univision Miami. So Rich, when she meets you, wants to cover it, she's not some random reporter. I'm just stating.
On all of you. This is amazing. Thank you.
No, just saying thank you, Claudia. Thank you so much. Again, Trish, great to see you, by the way. It's been too many years. Thank you for participating. Rick, you are my brother, sir. Thank you so much. Javier Fernandez, our future state senator. Thank you so much. And
thank you for the invitation.
Vote 31, area 31, right?
Punch 35 if you're in District 39.
You're going to confuse me. Okay, punch 35 in District 39. Basically,
That's
South Dade.
I got his phone numbers here. I got both.
We're gonna get Lillian in trouble. Stop it.
We are going to get her in trouble since she's friends with the person you're running against. And so are we. But Javier, I'm sorry, I'm a fan. And besides Adelante, which Roland loves the fact that when us Columbus guys stick together.
We'll see.
Roland. Pleasure, sir. Thank you so much, Lily. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. We are wrapping up our webinar for today. I'm going to let Lily take us. What do we have, Lily? What's next?
Next week we have the training, the business training with Miami-Dade College certification. And then the following week we have the future of our nursing homes, our ALFs, and our seniors. What's happening to our seniors? Nobody's talking about the seniors. How are they being treated? Probably fairly and very well, but if they're sharing a room, they're not safe. So what are they doing? What are they up to? Because you have to have everybody separate. And we know that in ALFs and in nursing homes, they're all gathered together because there's no space. So that's where we're going to learn what's happening to our grandparents. Nuestro viejito, ¿qué les está pasando?
Excellent. Always on the cutting edge. Thank you all very much. Have a wonderful, wonderful day. Take care.
Claudia, I texted you.